Hello, how are you doing today? My name is Troy Wise. I'm with Aspire Counseling and Consulting Services, where we support individuals who are trying to build intimacy in their relationships. We try to make it better for you. And so I just wanted to take some time today to drop a couple of nuggets to support you if you have been having issues with communication in your relationships. I want to give you just a couple of tools to help you to understand when there's a problem and when there's a need to change on your behalf, okay? So let's start with this. Look, I've often said that in therapy, there's a couple of things, or this is what I was taught. When you're dealing with somebody in therapy, the one way that you know that there's a possibility for breakthroughs is that the individual who comes to you has to have a desire to want to change. If you're trying to provide therapy to someone who doesn't have the desire or to change, then it's a failed deal. It's just not going to go well in most cases. This is the same thing when there is communication breakdown in relationships. Many times we don't get to correct the things that we need to in relationships because one person or both don't have a desire to change. It doesn't matter that, hey, I'm 10 years out, 20 years out, 30 years out in relationships, having the same complaints from different people, but I don't recognize that maybe the problem lies within me. Now I can identify, I used to be kind of that type of way to where I didn't recognize the need for my own change, but I want to give you a couple of a couple of examples of how to know when it's you. Okay, so have you been hearing the same thing about yourself in relationships over and over and over again? Have you been having people tell you constantly, well, you just a know-it-all. You have no flexibility when it comes to talking to you. You don't ever listen. Can you just listen to me? You're too passionate. You scare me. Things of that nature. If you have had these types of things or whatever the case is, that is causing a conflict with you being able to be in relationships successfully, and you've been hearing that thing over and over and over again, many times, this is a sign that you may need to make changes. Now, I will make this disclaimer. Make sure that when you make this assessment, you are free of having narcissism. Because some of us are in company with groups of narcissists. We just attract that. Some of us are in company with groups of codependents, and so we attract that. So we can't necessarily rely on those groups. I'm saying, given that the people that you are around, that you feel safe and comfortable, that they are giving you great information and that you can rely on what they say. If people who you like, mama, like if mama was good to you, like there's no issues with mama that you've been hiding, or grandmama, or other people who have maybe success in their relationships and they're telling you that, hey, you know what, you may want to consider this or that. You may want to take a listen to what they're saying, and it may be time to make some changes. We have to be convicted in and of ourselves that change is what we desire. And when we come to situations not having a desire to change, but we have the tendency to want to defend, we have the tendency to want to protect, we have the tendency to want to hide, then that is usually going to be an example of a situation that isn't going to change much in a relationship. But this is the thing. If you have been having situations over and over again and people are making the same complaints over and over again, why would we continue to repeat those patterns when they haven't been working in relationships? Maybe it's time to try something new. Maybe it's time to be more vulnerable. Maybe it's time to just understand that maybe just because I'm not perfect in a relationship and because I have a few things that are wrong that need to be corrected, that doesn't necessarily make me a bad person. For me, myself, there was a lot that I had to learn, that I had to change in my life in order to have functional relationships with other people. And one thing I had to recognize is that, man, I really just don't know as much as I think I do. Listen to people who are close to you, especially when you are in intimate relationships. If they're echoing the same things time and time again, it might just mean that it's time for you to examine and make a change. I hope this has been helpful for you today. Troy Wise with Aspire Counseling and Consulting Services, trying to get you locked in to a relationship or make the one that you're in better. Give me a call if there's anything I can do to help you. Thanks a lot.